Hi, my name is Stephanie Draves, and I am part of Lorena Barnett's EDU 330 class, which is Social Justice for Educators. This is my cultural competence reflection video, and the things that I'm going to cover in this video are my cultural competence and what does that mean for me as an educator, where do I fall on the cultural competence chart, continuum chart, as well as what biases might I still be wrestling with, how do I plan on deepening my competence, as well as what research I'll be using to do so, cultural inclusivity in the classroom, and how do I expect to create that part of an environment, as well as how do I plan on ensuring that I'm respectful to the children and their individual characteristics and diverse natures in the classroom. And so first, cultural competence as an educator. First, it's really taking on social justice. What does that look like in actionable steps in my person, as well as what does that look like in my community and the places that I truly go to serve? This also looks at I identify who am I? What is my identity? What are my biases? What kind of things are really grounded within myself? Because the more that I understand within myself, the more that I can truly open myself up to understand somebody else's experiences. I think it's really understanding that the diverse nature is really truly accepting the beauty that the body holds. An eye is not an ear, is not a nose, is not lips, and they all operate different, thankfully. I'm grateful for the different ways that they serve, and in each way we offer in our different cultures, diversities, traditions, and everything that we bring and who we are and the experiences that we've shared. I believe that that really truly leads that way into finding those spaces of peace and um, truly finding those win-win solutions in a space that might feel a little chaotic. I think it's adopting empathy and looking into somebody else's shoes. What is their experience like, as well as really respecting cultural and being open to what does this look like in my life? What does this look like to witness and to also have my own beliefs? I believe the cultural competence chart, I believe myself to be competent and proficient. I believe myself to really take actionable steps as well as research, which I'll cover in just a moment, to ensure that I'm taking steps in healing what's within me, and different biases that's held me back from really adopting different relationships that were uncomfortable, or entering into conversations or situations that might not feel familiar or comfortable, including this one, and making a video. Research and reading the Bible, for one, applicable steps, beautiful illustrations of purposeful living, as well as the Institute for Advancing the Mind. IM Seminars has Empower, Transform, and Complete, which has a lot of principles and concepts that allow for a better understanding through experiential learning. Untethered Soul is absolutely incredible, as well as Living Untethered, and I really love visiting Don Miguel's The Levels of Attachment, as well as The Four Agreements, and Mastery of Self-Love, and many of the other of his books. Anything that Brene Brown writes, her ability and power of vulnerability, as well as daring greatly, and expressing how an individual's self-strength and who they are just truly adds to us as a nation, as well as Atlas of the Heart, really identifying different emotions that we all experience in a really grounded, unified way of how we might be experiencing them. Also, in the future inclusivity that I plan to create in the classroom includes establishing ground rules, really setting up the expectation of what it looks like to communicate, to disagree, as well as to hold accountable in the classroom, really helping those practices that we're going to carry out within our society to support ourselves at speaking from a place of truth, even when it gets difficult. And the way that I ensure on respecting my students' values and culture is, one, building a relationship with them and knowing who they are and what those triggers are, as well as doing check-ins with myself and with my students, and ensuring that I'm creating a space that is open to exploring, being creative, as well as looking at topics that might be uncomfortable. So I hope from this video you learned my cultural competence as an educator, different biases, which I did want to cover. What is one, being a woman, learning how to speak up and step up in that strength of who I am and what I might have to share, and understanding that being wrong offers opportunities of growth and enlightenment within myself, and that also echoes out within the ripple effects that it can create. I hope that you learned the ways that I can deepen my competence as an educator and different research that I'll use to do so, as well as the future inclusivity and practices and things that I hope to establish in my classroom, and ways that I ensure respecting my students. Thank you. I really appreciate your time.